went from that table, and then I was about to do, I was going to look for another video, but this other one popped up, the Honor Magic V3 hands-on, and it just caught my eye. I was like, oh, that looks nice, and we've got to watch it, so I'm putting it on now.
Hey everybody, hope you guys are healthy and safe. So this is the Honor Magic V3, the new thinnest and lightest foldable phone around. This guy measures only 9.3 millimeters when folded, and unfolded it's like 4.5 millimeters, and it weighs 230 grams. So these dimensions are only marginally slightly thicker than...
Look at that. iPhone 15 Pro Max, and you got the Magic V3, and it's what, a millimeter, 2 millimeters thicker than the iPhone, and then you got the Z Fold 6. I'm very disappointed with Samsung lack of advancement with their folding phone. I'd love to get the Z Fold 6, but it's just not there. It's the main when it's in the phone shape, it's too narrow. I don't like how narrow it is. It doesn't look right. And it's just too thick and bulky. I mean, if you look at my phone, which is in my pocket, so I've got this, and it's, it's not thin. I mean, it's a good 10, 12 mil thick. If I take it out, I'd say it's about 10, 11 mil thickness, something along those lines. So I don't particularly mind that thickness, but I want the phone to have, I want it to be this wide, and I want it to be this tall. All I want for folding phone, and this will just, if they do it, I will get it, is to have this basically fold out into a tablet. So this would open up, and you'd have another screen there this size, and that's it. That's all I want. And I want it to be about as thick as this is now. So the Magic V3, it is thin enough to be the thickness that I want, and it looks like the dimensions that I want as well. I just don't know about the software on it, but let's kind of see what he's saying anyway.
Than heavier than the iPhone 15
You don't like the Fold
Max.
6?
So I did not get this phone from Honor. I purchased it from Trinity Electronics in Hong Kong. They're probably like the best phone importer on earth. They get phones faster than everybody. They already have the Xiaomi Mix Fold 4 in stock, actually. So I bought one from Trinity. They sent it out Monday night Hong Kong time via FedEx.
But again, this is what I was saying before when I did another video on the phones, that Xiaomi have done a really, really thin folding phone like this. Honor Magic has now done a 4.5 mil thickness, I think something like that, he said, mobile phone. Google Pixel Pro 9 Fold, again, super, super thin profile. And yet, Samsung, the biggest mobile phone company literally in the world, bar iPhone, or bar Apple, sorry, still haven't even got close to it. They're still doing these huge, chunky, horrible brick things. How are they so far behind when all these other companies have just started and already advanced past them? It's terrible.
And they arrived here in Los Angeles Tuesday afternoon. So anyway, this is not going to be a full review because I've only had this guy for a few hours. So let's first look at the unboxing experience. As usual with Honor's flagship phones, you're getting quite a lot with your packaging. You have this really nice case that's also
I wouldn't bother with the case.
Same as the material of this.
I know before in another video I said always get a case, but I don't think I would. I'd just get a glass screen protector.
Phone's back.
Because I'd want to keep it thin.
Case actually has a kickstand that blends into the camera module. You also have a 66-watt USB-C charger and a Type-C to Type-C cable. Now let's look at the phone's hardware. So you have a 6.4-inch OLED screen on.
See, look at that. It is a good thickness. It's a good size. It looks like a normal mobile phone.
The ratio is like 20.5 by 9. So it's basically almost exactly like a normal smartphone aspect ratio. So this is very comfortable to type on and very easy to use. And because this phone is so thin and the sides are actually a little bit curved, when you hold this guy when it's folded, it feels like holding a normal phone. Unfold, you have a 7.9-inch screen, resolution of 2156 by 2344. OLED panel, 120 Hz refresh rate, and it gets up to a maximum nits of over 2,500. And the crease on the screen is not as visible as the crease in the Galaxy Fold 6 screen.
I mean, look at that. So, by that logic, that must be the Galaxy, and that must be the Honor Magic. So, like I was saying, all these smaller companies that have never done these folds or have only just started are already ahead of Samsung, which is insane. How embarrassing. Why is Samsung so far behind when they're the first ones to get so far ahead? And then they're just like stopped and they've not really done anything to advance anymore. The only other thing for me is the battery for the foldable is the battery life. And I really want a 200 megapixel camera, 50 megapixel ultra wide, 50 megapixel zoom, or 3 times optical zoom, or 10 times optical zoom would be great. So I want those. So there's a few things that I must have to be able to get a foldable. Once that's there, getting it.
As you can see right here. Now as for the camera system, you have this really nice camera module here that's kind of in the same
really
design
behind.
language as the Honor Magic 6 Pro.
You
have a 50 megapixel main camera, f1.6 aperture, so that's very fast for a main camera, and it has an image sensor size of 1/1.56. Now this sensor size is kind of small if you compare it to slab phones, but for a foldable phone, it is quite large. It is much larger than the sensor size in the Fold 6. Likewise with the periscope zoom lens. So the sensor size here is 1/2.5 inch, 50 megapixel, and I believe it has an f3 aperture.
I mean, those are good
sensor
photos.
size is
They're
really
not bad.
large for a foldable phone. And to wrap things up, you have a...
Just keep in mind, the iPhone 15 Pro Max, that has a 48 megapixel main camera. So that's 50 megapixel. Apple's running a 48 megapixel at the moment. Samsung 200 megapixel as their flagship camera. So, yeah.
40 megapixel ultra wide camera, f2.2 aperture, and I don't know the sensor size of this guy. And then you have two 20 megapixel front facing camera, one on each screen. On the software front, the Magic V3 runs Magic OS 8.0.1 over Android 14. Now this is a China version of the phone, so it does not come with Google apps out of the box, but you can install Google apps very easily.
Cool.
In fact, directly in Honor's App Store is the Google Play Store already. So you just need to install the Google Play Store right there. And after that, you just need to log into your Google account.
You don't have any problems.
And then all your basic core Google framework will be set up. You do still then need to jump into the Play Store to download all the Google apps that you're used to, like YouTube, Google Maps, Google Keep, Google Docs. But the Google framework is already built into the phone, and it just takes maybe 15 minutes to get all the Google apps in here up and running. There is a lot of Chinese app bloatware though, so uninstalling all that will take another 5 to 10 minutes. Obviously, I have not used the phone long enough to give you a gauge of battery.
It's interesting to know that at least on these like Xiaomi and Honor Magic and all those, at least you can actually uninstall the bloatware, or the majority of the bloatware that comes with the phone. Samsung, you can't. There's a lot of the bloatware on there. You just have to hide and put elsewhere. You can't actually get rid of it.
Battery life yet, but the battery in here is relatively big, 5,150 milliamp hours, so significantly larger than the Fold 6's battery size again, and with a Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen.
How has it got a better it's got a better screen, it's got better size in regards to the thickness, folded and unfolded. It's got a better display, so it looks basically like a normal mobile phone. It's got a bigger battery. It's got better cameras. How it has everything on this phone better than anything Samsung's done so far? How? Samsung need to wake up and get with it, man. They need to their next Fold 7, it has to be so advanced it blows every other phone in the world away. You know, it needs to be down to 3. You know, we need to sell 3 mil thickness, 200 megapixel camera, 50 megapixel ultra wide, 50 megapixel times optical zoom, a 6,000 milliamp battery. It needs to bring out all these because it's just so far behind now.
3, I'm pretty sure battery life is going
to be really
good, among the best in class of all the foldable phones out there.
You totally agree.
And also, this foldable supports a stylus on the inside and the outside screen, but Honor does not include the stylus with the package, so I guess it's a separate purchase, but you are able to use a stylus on both the inner and outside screen, so it's pretty awesome. So overall, this hardware is very impressive. with the only nitpick being the fingerprint sensor is still located on the side.
I like
Better
that
into
though.
the power button. I wish we have fingerprint sensor underneath the screen because Vivo's giving that to us now. So that's one area.
I'll be honest. I hate having a fingerprint sensor on the front here. I used on my Xiaomi Redmi Note 10 Pro that the power button there, it was a fingerprint sensor. So I would literally just pick my phone up and it would unlock before I even got it to my face. I have to pick this up and unlock it every time. But I love having a fingerprint sensor on the side. It was brilliant.
On the Magic V3 still kind of lags behind Vivo. But then everything else, from the sensor size of the periscope zoom camera to the display, everything else is looking very good. Oh, one final thing I want to mention is that the hinge, you can stay in place at most angles, but it is not as sturdy and rigid as the Fold 6. So for example, if I open it at this angle right here, sometimes it will just flop open like that, you see? Whereas with the Fold 6, this hinge is still the best in the
who
business.
cares? It's
like
a
at
crap
any
phone.
angle,
Sorry.
it can stay in place.
If you've got one, if you got one, let me know what you think of your Fold 6.
Where the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6 still beats all the other challengers, but otherwise, when it comes to everything else, this hardware is just so much better. I love this in-hand feel so much better than the Fold 6. But then, of course, there's more to the foldable phone than just hardware, and Samsung still has a lot of software features that other Chinese foldable phones do not have yet. So that's about it for this quick hands-on.
But, you know, I honestly think I could live with that. I think I could live with not having a lot of different features and blah, blah, blah and all that sort of thing. Because with that phone, I would 99% of the time, I would use it as I would use this. I would use it exact same way that I would use this phone in every single sense of the term. But it would be great if on those odd occasions, I just wanted to open it up and this just opened up into a nice sized tablet. And it was there as a tablet and I could use it as a tablet. If I was... so I'm off on holiday in the very near future, and I would love to be able to take this phone on the plane and go flip and have a nice big screen to watch movies on. But saying that, if you open this up, this will become a square, and then you'd end up with about the same picture, the same size video picture anyway. I don't know. I'd have to get my hands on a Fold. But yeah, I mean, they're so far behind. It's almost laughable how hardware-wise, how Samsung's just not innovating anymore. They're not really pushing the boundaries where everybody else clearly is. So